Coming up on NCC News at 4, alcohol laws are changing in New York, what it means for your favorite brewers.
Plus, an Israeli military veteran shares his views on the war, what the Defense Force is going through.
And the 2028 Olympics will feature some new events. Your news starts right now.
Good afternoon and welcome to NCC News at 4. I'm Peyton Spellacy.
And I'm Sammy Lindell. Let's get right to our top story.
New York State just announced some big changes on when retailers can sell alcohol. Our reporter Jacob Bernardini joins us live to tell us more. Jacob?
Thanks, Peyton. New York just announced that in their new legislation that alcohol laws have changed. You can now sell liquor earlier in the morning. This is a move that Governor Kathy Hochul has called a way to modernize alcohol laws in New York. Liquor sales have just gotten a whole lot easier in New York State. Governor Kathy Hochul signed legislation that allowed for the sale in liquor stores to begin at 10 a.m. on Sundays instead of noon. Tori Grant, an associate professor at Syracuse University, says it's about giving local stores a fair playing field.
So if little shops can open up, so what would happen with a grocery store is they would already be open. You just couldn't purchase beer until, noon. Now, stores that only sell wine or liquor, like in New York, can open up at 10 o'clock.
At Armory Square, we asked some Syracuse neighbors for their opinions on the law change. People like Don Campbell, who didn't really understand the need for a change.
I mean, I don't really have any issues really with that. I wouldn't think, but I would never drink that early anyways, so I don't know. I don't really know what difference it would really make,
Taylor Wooten, however, told us that he sees no problem with the changes to the law.
As long as you're responsible with it and make good decisions, yeah. Alcohol is not the best thing for anybody, but I don't know. I don't think it's something that's going away, so I don't see any problem with it being on Sundays.
The legislation also includes new things such as expanding how long licenses are for alcohol beverage licensors, and as well as making catering easier for alcohol. For more from NCC News, I'm Jacob Bernardini. Back to you guys.
Jacob, thank you. A move that will make big changes in how New Yorkers will buy alcohol.
And the Micron Committee wants to hear your ideas on how to spend $500 million. There will be a public workshop tomorrow night from 4:30 to 7:30 at the Museum of Science and Technology. This huge chunk of money is planned to be spent over the next 20 years. If you can't make the meeting, you can still offer your thoughts on the community's priority survey. You can visit the website at the bottom of your screen.
And a local McDonald's manager in Fayetteville is getting some global recognition. Chelsea Gallick won the Ray Kroc Award. It recognizes the top-performing McDonald's managers worldwide. Gallick is one of 395 managers to receive the honor. The award includes a cash prize, a trophy, and even a trip to the McDonald's Worldwide Convention in Barcelona, Spain.
3 people and 2 horses are now injured after a vehicle hit the back of a horse-drawn carriage in Kirkville yesterday. Officers responded to a call around 6:30 last night on Poolsbrook Road. Police say the carriage is significantly damaged. The riders suffered only minor injuries and went to their hospital on their own for evaluation.
Syracuse police say shoplifting rates have spiked 55% since 2021. Small businesses are doing everything they can to protect their products. Soul Expressions is a small business in Destiny Mall that is no stranger to shoplifting. Co-owner Ryan Morris explained why he takes shoplifting so seriously.
I don't want to just sit there and watch someone, take from us. It hurts, us being able to pay our employees. It hurts us. It hurts our customers that come in because there may be things that might be a higher price because people are stealing, that we don't want to have to do, but to stay, alive, we have to.
To hear more on this story, tune in to our 4:45 newscast.
3 men were arrested over the weekend after a kidnapping and attempted robbery on Syracuse's north side. A 28-year-old man approached police, pointed to a Weiss Malo, and accused Malo of robbing him with a knife. Police quickly detained him. As the investigation progressed, police found out the victim's brother was being held captive by Ram and Laxman Kodiwada on East Laurel Street. Malo and the Kodiwada brothers are all charged with first-degree kidnapping, robbery and burglary, and third-degree possession of a weapon.
And a new study says nearly 25% of adults in the city have overdue medical bills. Syracuse came into nearly 2 times higher than surrounding upstate cities. Buffalo came in second, around 13%. Rochester scored the best at around 6%.
And it's time to say goodbye to the cable box. If you're a Spectrum customer, the company is replacing it with a device the size of a coaster. Spectrum has already announced a stream box where you can still get all your favorite cable channels. The company says this could save you some money in the future, and it costs $60. And it's Remembrance Week at SU. The week honors 35 Syracuse students who lost their lives on Pan Am Flight 103. Last May, Remembrance Scholars were announced, and today NCC News spoke with Remembrance Scholar Dominic Chapone to see how he's reflecting during this time.
I think this year in particular, being the 35th anniversary, it's a time of reflection. It's a look at the persistence of this program, at what it's done and how many people it's brought up. And it's also just a good opportunity for all of us to get to know each other and kind of embrace what it means to be a Syracuse University student and embrace Remembrance Scholar, the program's motto of looking back and acting forward.
Remembrance Scholars have planned events and activities to remember those who lost their lives in the tragedy. Remembrance Week ends October 21st.
And the city of Syracuse is naming a street in Armory Square after a beloved local restaurant owner. Michael Yorton operated the Blue Tusk Bar on Walton Street with his family from 1995 to 2021. The Blue Tusk has since been closed. He died last November. This street in Armory Square will be designated as Michael Yorton Way for at least a year.
Well, Peyton, it's finally starting to feel like October outside.
Yes, it was the first time I wore a coat was yesterday. I feel like it comes a lot earlier in the year.
And I guess here to tell us more is Megan McCloskey. She joins us live outside. Megan, what do you have for us?
Thank you, guys. It is finally starting to consistently feel like fall here in Syracuse. It is a little bit chilly today, so definitely bring a jacket with you, but leave the heavy winter coat at home. There are clouds out today, but it's not rainy, just the perfect weather to put on a scary movie and get into the Halloween spirit. Looking at our current temperatures, it is 56 degrees, feels like 55, and the humidity is pretty high, so definitely keep the hair product handy today if you're anything like me. That's all I have for right now. I'll be back shortly with what to expect for the rest of the week. Back to you in the studio.
Megan, thank you. Former President Donald Trump is returning to a Manhattan courthouse. New York Attorney General Letitia James filed a lawsuit against Trump.
James alleges that he and his company deceived banks, insurers, and others by overvaluing his assets and inflating his net worth in paperwork to make deals. Trump denies any wrongdoing.
And both President Biden and Governor Kathy Hochul are leaving for Israel today. The governor says her trip is a, quote, solidarity mission. She will meet with diplomatic leaders and communities who have been devastated by the Hamas attacks.
After visiting Israel, the president plans to travel on to Jordan to meet with Israeli and Arab leadership. This comes as concerns have increased over the expansion of the war into a larger regional conflict.
Republican Representative Jim Jordan is bringing the House of Representatives back to the floor. This after Representative McCarthy was ousted.
Jordan is running to replace McCarthy as Speaker of the House. Majority Leader Steve Scalise was the party's first nominee to replace McCarthy, but he abandoned his bid.
And coming up next on NCC News at 4, the war in the Middle East continues to send shockwaves across the world.
And how the situation in Israel is hitting a little closer to home for one SU student. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to NCC News at 4. The Israel-Hamas war continues. Gaza is recovering from bomb attacks on Tuesday night. There was also a separate attack on a refuge camp killing a Hamas leader.
On the opposing side, Israel says at least 199 people have been taken by Hamas. The captives range from infants to the elderly.
And the war is taking on and affect people here in the Syracuse community. One Syracuse University student who is also an Israeli Defense Force veteran is watching it all unfold abroad.
They're saying like, yeah, I'm fine. We're not fine. Like, we're not fine.
Asaf Harari grew up in Israel. He now lives in New York and is a full-time student and cross-country runner at Syracuse University. He can only give one analogy to explain what the war feels like to him.
Your house is burning and you're outside just watching it burn and you don't really have anything to do.
Harari served his time in IDF as a trainer who prepared those who would go into combat. Many of his trainees died on the front line on October 7th.
They're the first one to go there and you're facing 200 terrorists. There's not much you can do. And they did a lot. They saved countless lives.
Harari said the town where he's from, Kibbutz Megan Mahel, which lands about right here on the map, is one of the safer parts of Israel right now. The war is happening mainly here on this West Bank, as well as the border near Lebanon. It only takes about 6 hours to drive from the northern to the southern part of the country. Now, Harari says his family is safe, but because the country is so small, anybody could be at risk.
His sister and her boyfriend planned on going to a party last week in Israel. Everyone who went to that party was captured by Hamas. But what saved his sister?
Their alarm went off and they kept sleeping. And this is the only reason she's alive right now.
Harari's mind has been elsewhere in knowing what's happening in his home country. And this is the same for other students on campus as well.
So much is going on through my mind. Fear. It's just unable to focus on anything other than...
Both Harari and Yechezkel say all they can do is donate and pray for their families.
A gunman suspected of killing 2 Swedes in a terrorist attack in Brussels died this morning in the hospital. The overnight manhunt concluded at a cafe where he was shot by police.
The shooting started miles away from the stadium that held the qualifications for the Euro 2024 football tournament. A third Swedish citizen is seriously injured. And coming up on NCC News, it's starting to feel more like fall.
We'll have your full weather forecast after the break.
Good afternoon. It is a chilly fall day here in Syracuse. It's 56 degrees. It feels like 55, so we're in that zone where it's cold enough to need a jacket, but a little too warm for one of your big winter coats. It is overcast today, but we won't be getting any rain. And now if we look back at past years, we have a high of 56 today with an average high of 60 and a record high of 84 in 1847. I don't know about you, but I would be going swimming in mid-October. We also have a low of 46 today, a low of 46, average low of 42, and a record low of 24 degrees in 1978. I do not think that I would have made it out of bed this morning if it was in the 20s when I woke up, but that's just me. And let's look at the surrounding area. Temperatures are pretty much consistent across the region. Rochester and Watertown are tied at 54, and then we have Albany at the highest at 60. And it's pretty much cloudy everywhere. It is partly cloudy down in Binghamton and partly sunny over in Albany. Let's take a look at tomorrow's forecast. It will be another cloudy day, but we will see the clouds start to scatter as the day goes on, and it won't rain tomorrow, so leave the umbrella at home. Maybe grab a light jacket if you'll be out in the morning and the afternoon. Looking towards the rest of the week, we will finally get some sunshine on Thursday with a high of 66, followed by some rain on Friday and Saturday. Showers might pause a bit during the days, but definitely prepare for some rain at night. Sunday will be the coldest day of the week with a low in the 30s. There is some chance of rain in the morning, but the sun should start to creep out throughout the day. And Monday will be partly cloudy at 51 degrees. So no snow on the forecast, but I want to know what you think. Will we see flurries before Halloween? Let us know your prediction on Twitter at NCC News. And that's all I have for today. Peyton and Sammy, back to you.
Thanks so much, Megan. I think there's going to be some flurries by the end of this month, but coming up next on NCC News.
The 2028 Olympics will feature some new events. Kendra Brodus has sports after this. Coming up on NCC Sports, the 2028 Olympics approved 5 new sports for the LA Games. I'm Kendra Brodus, bringing you your NCC Sports update. Cricket, flag football, lacrosse, squash, baseball, and softball have all been added to the 2028 Los Angeles Olympic Games. And something to keep an eye on, the Haudenosaunee Nationals lacrosse team. Will the Iroquois team have the opportunity to participate in the 2028 Olympics under their own flag? The team has participated in the World Lacrosse Games in the past, but never in an Olympic competition. There are only 4 teams left in the MLB playoffs, and it's a battle in Texas. The Texas Rangers went south last night to take on the Houston Astros. The Rangers took the win 5-4 and lead the series 2-0. And the Arizona Diamondbacks are in the city of brotherly love for their series. The Phillies took Game 1 last night, but it's a quick turnaround with Game 2 tonight. And the biggest question marks for Syracuse men's basketball's upcoming season revolve around new head coach Adrian Autry. NCC Sports' Jesse Cook searched for what makes him unique and what to expect.
Starting a new job can be daunting.
I think I'm comfortable in my skin.
Comfort is key, even if it's just a promotion.
I'm relatable. I think that's the biggest thing. Being relatable. Easy to talk to, easy to communicate.
And that's what it is. Newly appointed head coach of the Syracuse men's basketball team, Adrian Autry, spent 11 years as an assistant, and that's how he gained his players' trust.
The head coach now also play here, so it's always been about family. That's one of the reasons why I came here.
It's not just a mindset change for Syracuse going into year 1 for Adrian Autry, it's also in play style. There's some returners, but also some transfers. Some pretty big transfers. I mean big.
No, he's an honest guy. Tell you in a moment, like, yo, you're not doing this well, you BSing, you need to do this and that.
And if you're wondering what to expect in the new season, well, it's for Coach Autry to go far into his depth.
We got a chance to mix up some different combinations and do some different lineups.
New campaign, new coach, new confidence, but still same old for SU. Jesse Cook, NCC News.
And the squad opens up its preseason campaign on October 27th against Damon. Its regular season opener is against New Hampshire on November 6th. And the closure of Cazenovia College is having a lasting impact on local schools here in central New York. The Fayetteville Manlius swimming and diving team used to practice at Caz College, but now they're sometimes practicing in a pool that's green.
So we're kind of like vagabonds. We've been traveling every which way, but we've kind of been at Calvary for majority of the season, which is outdoors, which is not great. It kind of looked like a swamp at some point of the season, but we did the best that we could out of that.
Despite swimming in the swamp, as the team calls it, they're going into their last regular season meet against Baldwinsville tonight with the hope of staying undefeated. Last season's Player of the Year, Caitlin Clark, in the Iowa women's basketball broke the women's college basketball attendance record last week. The Hawkeyes played DePaul in an exhibition matchup in the Kinnick Stadium with over 50,000 fans to witness their win. Clark hopes that these kinds of crowds will become the new normal for women's sports. And that'll do it for NCC Sports. I'm Kendra Brodus. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Kendra. Coming up next on NCC News at 4, Jackson Holzer has the latest on Monday Night Football's viral star. We'll be right back. Welcome back to NCC News. We have Jackson Holzer live in studio for today's social media roundup. Jackson, what do you have for us?
Well, thanks, Sammy. Last night, the Cowboys beat the Chargers 20-17. It was a pretty exciting game, but one fan stole the show. Big 4th and goal for LA coming. Come on, says this woman. Here's the play. Justin Herbert finds Gerald Everett for the touchdown. Yay, says the fan. Look how excited she is. But then Herbert, coming right here, throws a pick, and the Cowboys win. Oh no, oh my goodness, says the fan. Poor fan, so sorry for you. Social media predictably had a made this meme. Being a Charger fan, well, yeah, it sounds about right. It's tough being a Chargers fan. Every game kind of feels like the same. There were some gambling memes as well. We got here waiting on the last 6-leg play to hit right there. I know someone's sweating out a parlay when I see one. Guys, make sure to gamble responsibly, but I kind of get where you're coming from. Let's go over here now. She's definitely a paid actress. Nobody is that passionate about the Chargers. Man, that's kind of a roast to the Chargers. That kind of sucks. Leave the Chargers out of this. Let the fan have her moment. If she was in Hollywood, I would definitely hire her. Let's go to the next one here. Me on 79-cent chicken wing day. Hey, I wouldn't react like that, but still, I get the excitement. Move over Taylor Swift. The NFL has a new hero. That's right. Taylor Swift is done. This fan has stole the show. Back to you guys.
Well, Jackson, thank you. Taylor is the star of the newly minted highest-grossing concert film ever.
Yes, Swift's Eras Tour concert film grossed almost $125 million on opening weekend, but that number has took a pause as the film is only showing from Thursdays to Sundays. Swift says it's because she wants the film to feel more like a concert with packed crowds, the singer's iconic friendship bracelets, with singing and dancing. Sammy, what do you think about the concert being on weekends?
You know, I love it, and it gives the kids time to do some homework during the week.
Yeah, I agree. That's all the time we have for you on NCC News at 4.